What's up, chumps? Welcome to episode of Creek Catch and Cook. We're going down to the creek, see if we can catch some sand bass. Then we're gonna cook them up. So stay tuned, see you guys soon. So as you can see, we got a little creek in here. We got a feeder creek coming in right here, and then the main creek is coming around. So those fish like to sit where that dark area is right there. I don't know why. I've been fishing this spot for years and years and years, and they just love that spot. So what I'm using is I got a little 16th ounce jig head, some sort of little trailer. I like the baby shad color because it's just natural. And I mean, we've used the bright yellow and the stuff there, and that's worked as well, but you know, this always seems to work really well. We got that little dark color. I'm gonna throw right up in there, see if we can catch one on the first cast. No, not the first cast. So usually, like right up in there. Oh, had one bite it. Oh, had another one bite it. And this early in the year, we might just have some smaller fish in here, but if you can ever find like a hard bend in the creek, this is where the fish are really biting and really going. Like I said, it's still February here in Texas. We had about 2 weeks ago had a big freeze. So, oh, they're thumping it. They're thumping it. As soon as you turn the camera off, I get bit, so you guys didn't catch the fish catch video. But hey, little creek fish to start us off, number one. So what I am gonna do is I brought a rusty dusty little rope, and this is kind of a makeshift stringer, guys. For those of you guys who don't want to go buy an expensive stringer, take it through the gill plate, come up through the mouth, tie a little knot or two, bam, stringer. And back down in the water, tie it off to a stick right here. Oh gosh, fail. Tie it off to a stick. Then the next one, I can come back and get that one going. I got this Ozarka Trail 5-foot length, really light line, 6-pound test. I like 6-pound test for the creeks just because it doesn't let these fish see it. It's ultra light, ultra action. You see how that sucker can bend all the way around. And then, like I said, I'm throwing a 1/16 ounce jig head with a little tail on the back of it, throwing it right in that mixture of water right there, letting it sink down, and they're biting it. So like I said, I've got a lot of taps. They're not super aggressive right now, but usually once you catch one, you can kind of get a couple more going. So let's see if we can get these suckers fired up. But I'm gonna let it sink just a little bit, so maybe I can get down there to them. There we go, fish on, baby. Oh, he came off. How the heck is he coming off? And like I said, I think that was the juice, is just letting it sink just a little bit and then bring it right in front of their face. Oh my gosh, I'm pouring it out of their mouth. I am the worst fisherman in the world. Oh, y'all see that rod tip? They're attacking it. And I can't tell you how many times over the years I've lost so many baits in that tree right there. Oh, there it is. There's the money. Oh, that fish came up after it. There's some fish back up in that little channel right there. Oh, of course I can't get up there. And I'll show you guys some footage right here of when I was out here a couple days ago. and the water was well above the banks. So you could see where the water line is kind of on these trees all around here. And that's kind of where the water was. And that's the great thing about this little 5-foot rod, is I can cast this thing and wing it around and don't have to worry about hitting trees and all that stuff. As you can kind of see, there's trees and brush and fighting through everything. So if you come out here with a big 6-7 foot rod, something like that, you're gonna have a lot more difficult time than if you had a little bit smaller of a rod. So think about that, guys. And like I said, I got this rod for like 20 bucks at Walmart. It's nothing crazy, it gets the job done. If I break it or lose it or whatever the case may be is, there we go, there's a fish. Woo! Number 2, baby. And like I said, some of these fish are just getting started. So I think it's probably a lot of males. You can usually tell most of the time because the males will have white stuff coming down when they're trying to come through here and spawn. I'm going to show you my taco recipe for these fish. All right, so we got 2. I've been out here for maybe 5 minutes, but I've had this creek, especially as we get into the end of February, early March, we start getting some of those good rains. It fills this up and the water's warming up and those fish go berserk in here. I've been here a couple times and limited out in 20 minutes. I mean, there's parts of the creek that you can do that in. This one, it's a specific deal right here. Like I said, I am just prepping here for that time. And if we can catch some fish and do all that kind of stuff, then you never know what's going to happen. And as you can see, so the water's running pretty good. You can kind of see right down there. See right around that log how that water is running really fast. And it's running fast over that by that log, but over here in this corner, it kind of slows down a little bit. So the water's rushing really close up next to the bank. And then up and around that corner is when it starts to slow down. So that's where those fish are sitting, because that's where the bait fish go, you know, all that kind of stuff. Those fish, they obviously do like current, fish on, see right in that area right there. So they do like the current. They like to move up in the current, and they like to just sit in those places and wait for the bait fish or whatever else is going on. And if they're trying to spawn up in there, it's not the most ideal spot for them to get up into, and their babies are just going to be washed down the creek and that kind of stuff there. There we go, right in that. I'm telling you, those fish are biting right in that change of color right there. I mean, they're not giants. I mean, like I said, it's a bunch of males trying to get up in here early and do some spawning. Those fish, you'll cut them open and you'll see, you know, the white sacs are for the males, and then the females have those big like egg sacs in them. And later on in the season, you're catching 15 to 16-inch sand bass up in the creek with a 5-foot rod and, you know, 6-pound test, and that stuff, man, it gets fun. And like right now, I don't have my boat. For those of you kind of follow me along on TikTok, I was having some troubles with the motor, and then I took the boat to a marine shop. I'm not gonna say the name of the place just yet. I'll probably do a whole video on that. I took my boat out after they told me, hey, you're ready to go, everything's good to go. Took it out, and then I ran it for 5 minutes, turned the boat off, and went to start fishing, and it caught on fire. So for those of you guys that have had this happen where you take it to a shop and then obviously it happens, kind of let me know what you did. I've kind of talked to some lawyers, talked to some different stuff like that, trying to figure it out. But we got my insurance going over there, so the Haney build might be continuing with another brand new motor. I've been looking at some Mercury 250s. I've been looking at, you know, 200s. I've looked at Suzuki's. I've looked at a bunch of different things. There we go, fish on. Like I said, look at this. That's 3 of those little tiny ones back to back to back. So hopefully we can run into some bigger ones. But I mean, that dude's skinny. He needs to get in there and eat a little bit. Yeah, there we go. That'll keep. That one will keep. That one's a little fatter. Look at that sucker. Let's see if we can find any of that. Nope. So throw him on there. We're gonna have enough for fish tacos tonight, guys. So I'm gonna kind of let you guys in on my secret recipe, which is not so secret, but it's just a little bit of Slap Ya Mama. For those of you guys who don't know what Slap Your Mama is, it's one of the best seasonings in the entire world. I put Slap Your Mama on everything. I put it on macaroni, pizza, fish. It doesn't really matter. I love Slap Your Mama. There we go, fish on, another tiny one. These dudes need to grow up. I mean, look at him. That's a little bitty dude. I could use that for largemouth bait. Oh, right as soon as it hit the water. That feels like a better one. Nope. Is that a largemouth? It sure is. Look at that. Largemouth bass. Hey, buddy, you come up here to spawn in the creek or what? Multi-species challenge. Obviously, that sucker is way too small to keep, but that would be an awesome fish to put in like your backyard pond or put into like a fish tank or something like that and just watch him get big. So, Bama Bass, I've got a spot for you to catch some new fish for your tanks to go along with the alligator gar that you got going. So this little 1/16 ounce jig head, just plain Jane, no color to it, nothing like that. And I'm going back behind it with some Barbie Garland crappie baits. I like the original baby shad color. Like I said, it's just solid body. And then how I'm rigging this is I'll take it, you can measure like this and kind of see, okay, it needs to come out right there. Take it all the way down, pop it out, slide it up on there, and then boom, just like that, you're ready to rock and roll. And this color has a little bit of shimmer in the sunlight, as you can see kind of right there, and it just pops when it goes from that light water to that dark water. Those fish just tear it up. That was crazy. We caught a largemouth bass. I think I might throw 5 more casts right here and then move down a little bit to the south of where I'm sitting, seeing if we can find another deep pocket and another spot where some of those bigger ones have showed up. Like I said, I've caught 3. I'm probably only going to keep 5, just so I can have enough for some fish tacos tonight. Kind of show you guys my recipe, show you what I'm going to do. I might make a little pico with it, and then just grub up tonight. Like this, to me, there's nothing better than a little fish and, you know, tacos or fried fish or whatever it may be. Like one of my favorite meals that I make, and I need to show you guys this, and I saw this on another YouTuber's channel, is, so it's like grilled fish over a bed of cilantro rice mixed with like a corn salad and then a sauce on the top. And oh my gosh, I did myself in when I did that, because now I crave it all the time. And I love to do it with like speckled trout or redfish and stuff like that. But guys, sand bass, the meat on a sand bass isn't much different than a crappie. Like I said, crappie is king around these areas. Everybody loves crappie and that kind of stuff. But I'm telling you, a sand bass is a pretty clean fish. They're eating bait fish all the time. They're always moving. They're in crazy water. Like, they are so similar. And sand bass don't have the big red line that some of these other like striper and hybrids and stuff like that have. Like those striper and hybrids are, I mean, it's, unless you cut out the bloodline, like it's gonna be really fishy. And I know some people don't really like that real fishy taste. It's like a big bull red. There we go, fish on. A big bull red down in the south. The bull reds are not the best to eat in the world. I mean, you can make any fish taste good with enough seasoning and fried and all that stuff there. But I'm telling you, like, sand bass are probably one of my favorite, and they're easy to catch. I can go out pretty much any day of the year, whether it's 20 degrees, like when we went out on Lake Louisville and caught a limit of them, or in the middle of summertime and they're schooling and you're catching them that way. So I think we're gonna move spots. We're gonna move right over here and see if we can catch some more. And I'm gonna kind of show you where that creek bends again. So new spot, same goal. See, this is where I can get that 5-foot rod in there. And that current's ripping pretty hard, so I am just slow rolling this sucker. And usually they bite right out here, right off the edge of where this tree is, because you can see this is on this side is where that slack water is. See, this is what you gotta fight through. I like to go to places that nobody else is fishing, so I can catch the fish that nobody else is catching. Wise words of Oliver Nye. And if you haven't seen that guy, he catches giants. I've been fishing with him a couple times. We've become pretty good buddies, and he's taught me a lot about bass fishing and stuff. And I've kind of taken a left-hand turn for some bass fishing and kind of started exploring more of the ocean and stuff like that, but still just as fun, and I enjoy bass fishing just as much as I ever did. So I'm gonna try this spot. You can kind of see the swirling up over here on this side and then kind of flowing down. So I'm gonna try all around here and we'll see what happens. Ooh, almost threw up in the tree. There we go, fish on. Another tiny baby. So in Texas, guys, to keep these, they have to be 10 inches. And if it's anywhere kind of close, I just throw them back because, sorry, Mr. Game Warden, you're not gonna get me. Been a lot of small fish, so I'm guessing that, like I said earlier, the males are up in here, and then the females are gonna show up here when the water warms up just a little bit. I would expect, oh, there's that tree I told y'all about. Oh, that's the best part. That's how you get it unstuck. Just shake it until it goes. No, most of the time, especially with this light line, you don't get your bait back. But let's see if it will hit me in the face or not. Nope. So, time to retie. There we go, fish on. As you can see, guys, it's literally, I've said this so many times today, but if that's one key thing you take away from this video, it is catching those fish right where that watercolor changes. It's like it's almost automatic every single time. Like, I've had some nibble it in the darker water, I've had some nibble on it in the lighter water, but they've been right on that stinking line. I'm gonna try to throw all the way back up in that channel. Oh, look at that. Of course, throw a great cast. Psych, you still suck at fishing. There we go. There we go. Tell you boys what, my belly is grumbling. All right, chumps. So back in the kitchen, got our fresh fish here. Then we got some other ingredients that we're gonna go with it. So we're gonna make some fish tacos tonight. So I'm gonna bring you guys along. Let's see what you think. So one of the first things we did, instant minute rice. One of my favorite things, pretty easy. Put a half a cup in, half a cup of water, boom, ready to go there. Before we start cooking, you know, you gotta fuel up with a Miller Lite. Oh yeah. So with our rice, we're gonna go with a little Carter and Caviar, lime olive oil, some cilantro, and then we might even throw a little bit of jalapeno in there. And then we're gonna go with our fish grilled with a little lemon pepper, garlic salt, and then regular pepper. So we're gonna have the fish, the rice, and then a little bit of a old school style mix of kind of some vegetables and some stuff like that. So let's get to it. So what we're doing first is we're gonna take our cilantro. We're gonna cut that up nice and fine. There. I love the way that cilantro smells and tastes. I know some people think it tastes like different kinds of things or whatever there. So we're gonna go with cilantro right into the rice. Come back behind with our lime olive oil. Give it a little bit of toss there. And then let's mix all this up. Have a little bit of cilantro lime rice. Ooh, it smells good. Okay, cilantro lime rice to start off with. Then next up, what we're gonna do is make a little bit of a medley. So I'm gonna go with the original Rotel, a jalapeno, some cilantro, an onion, garlic, and then garlic salt. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm gonna drain a little bit of this juice, but not a lot of it. Okay, so in there we go. Then let's cut up our onion. Okay, let's go in with our onion. Next, we'll go with our jalapeno. I'm going seeds and all just to make sure I like my stuff a little bit spicy. Okay. So this is a boy dinner. My wife doesn't like fish, so I'm going with a little bit of that there. And then I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of minced garlic. I don't ever measure anything, and I usually get in trouble for that most of the time. But anyways, we'll go with a little bit of minced garlic. I've got some fresh garlic, but oh well. I'm gonna stay away from that. I think last thing, we can cut up a little bit more of this cilantro. Throw that in there. That should give us some extra bonus flavor there. So let's stir this up. Oh, look at that pico. That's some redneck pico right there. Whew. It is a little spicy. So, first two dishes done. Let's get on to the fish. Okay, so we got our fish fillets. We're gonna lay them out, get them going. And this is about as fresh as you can get, guys. What I'm gonna do is go with the lemon pepper seasoning to start off with. So let's give that a little shake on there. Then behind it, slap your mama. Give it a little kick. Make sure you get both sides really good. We're ready to start cooking. Let's go. All right, so we got our pan hot. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with a little bit of that lime olive oil. Okay, ooh, this smells good. You can definitely smell the lime in it. We ran out of regular olive oil, so I'm going with this. Just a little extra added flavor. Get that on there. I have a medium heat going. And the big thing is with fish, guys, a lot of people try to flip them and do all that kind of stuff. I want to start off and just, ooh, look at this. Listen to that sizzle. Lay them down on there, let them cook for 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. And then we're flipping them twice. So letting those get there and cook. You see, looks good. Okay, you can put a cover on it if you want to and just have it rocking and rolling. So we'll be back. Okay, it's been a couple minutes, about ready to flip them. You know they're ready to flip whenever they move on their own. If they're still sticking to the plate, you know they're not ready. Woo, look at that golden crispies. Man, these things look delicious. Give those another 3 minutes. We'll be ready to plate. Oh man. Looks great. All right, so we got our 3 tortillas. I'm gonna start off on bottom with our fish fillets. I'm going with the bigger fillets to start off with. Worst case scenario, I can eat the rest of them later. That is good. That is really good. Then I'm going a little bit with this homemade pico right on top. There you go. Each one gets a healthy dose of pico. And then for the side, go right with a little bit of that cilantro lime rice. Let me tell you guys, if that doesn't look good, you might as well slap your mama. So let's do a little taste test real quick. I've always heard that if it's weak to turn your head to the side to eat a taco. So do you turn your taco to the side or do you turn your head? I guess I'm a weak individual because I turn my head to the side so it doesn't drip out, but let's try it. Man, that's good. Thanks for tuning in for this creek catch and cook session. Hopefully you guys learned something today. Get out, go fishing, come home, make you a delicious meal like this, and just enjoy the great outdoors. Again, chumps, get out there and go fishing. Thanks you for watching. See you next time.